Ring up Christopher Browell.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07769247196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Yes, hello, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussein here, once again, leaving yourself a regular message. The last time I believe I rang up was on the 5th of June 2025. Today is the 17th of June 2025. And last time I rang you up, it was the day before Eid, wasn't it? And so I rang up to ask why I can't see my brother on Eid, or why my brother can't see us on Eid, or my sister. And once again, you've just failed to respond or comply with anything. You've said, you, the local authority, I mean, you're the only point of contact I'm going to continue to take, because I've tried. I know you may no longer be a social worker, but you still work for the council, and the matter has not been resolved with, has it? I know he's got another social worker that's been allocated to him, and another service manager. But irrespective, when I ring them up, they don't even want to talk to me, and that's not acceptable. Irrespective of who one person is or another person is, you're one part of the same organisation, the same family, namely Bradford Council Social Services, namely Bradford Council as a corporation. And as a corporation, you're detaining my brother indefinitely now, and I'm obviously at a loss of what to do next, because you seem to be buying off the judges and the courts. I mean, I remember, Christopher Browell, that you were involved in this case when my mother was still alive. You came down in October 2021. All right, and you had been with us all this time, so why would you need to change? My brother's still here. Was your job simply to act as a go-between? Knowing the fact that the calls were being recorded and publicised, and now that you've moved on to somewhere else, I asked you to move on earlier on to allocate him a social worker, but you refused to do so. I mean, he needed a social worker, not a care coordinator, which is clearly a fraudulent enterprise, isn't it? You are working as care coordinators when a different organisation as fifth column subversives. And that's the reality. The NHS, Bradford District Care Trust, is subservient to the council. The distinction between the two organisations is only on paper. The reality is that you work collectively together as a complete entity, and hence why nobody in the NHS is taking responsibility for having abducted my brother in the manner that the manner that you have done so, and you've done so under the guise of acting in his health and welfare interest, when the reality is that you have no legal basis or standing to act in his health and welfare interest without establishing that he lacks mental capacity, which you had failed to do so. And hence why you have now anything subsequently that you've done is all fraudulent and criminal, because you have no legal basis to detain my brother in the manner that you're doing so. I'm leaving daily messages to everyone, and all being failed to be responded to. I'm going to continue to hold you, Christopher Browell, responsible, because when the situation does come to the fore, you personally, Mr. Christopher Browell, working for Bradford Council, will be held liable and accountable for the tyranny and oppression that you're committing against me and my brother and our family. To say the fact that it was nothing to do with me, you work for Bradford Council, you're a social worker, being paid, your paycheck comes from Bradford Council. Yet you're convincing the world that you're Christopher.Browell at bdct.nhs.uk, that you're a care coordinator. You're not employed by the NHS. You are the NHS and the council are effectively merged together as a single entity, and I can trace this back to maybe the last 20 years. So this is a criminal enterprise that you've been running in order to target and victimize vulnerable people in society under the guise that you're acting in their best interest, when the reality is that you are and always ever have been acting in your own personal interest as a local authority and individual employees that work in the council. Now it's been 680 days today since the 7th of August 2023 that you're lawfully kidnapped my brother. 680 days. We are now just shy of 5 weeks before 5 or 6 weeks before it's going to be the anniversary 6 or 7 weeks before the anniversary, 2-year anniversary of his abduction. Now, how can you justify what you've been doing to my brother without contacting us, without having any, with just simply ignoring us and kidnapped him and holding him hostage, and then paying off the judges and the courts and everybody else to continue to target and victimize me? I've got the bailiffs regarding the 20 Primary Way with Talib's name on it. Who's going to deal with this? You just refuse to deal with this because you know the fact that you've been caught as a local authority with your pants down, and you're looking to hide behind the corporate veil and look to throw me under the bus and play the blame game upon myself, when the reality is this is an entirely your failure as a local authority. It's been 680 days that you've kidnapped my brother and are holding him hostage. You are then looking to leverage that position of yours in order to target and victimize myself and my family, because you know you've been caught. You understand? And you got caught a long time ago, and over a decade ago, for your failure to do your jobs properly, and you're looking to victimize and put me out there for your to help you achieve your objectives of the veneer of respectability and elegance or position of authority, when the reality is that you're dirty little criminals are holding my brother hostage and not refusing to answer the simplest of questions. For the last 680 days, I've asked you the simplest of questions, which I reiterate via email to both yourself, the care home, the council, and everybody else. And the question is simply this: what is a legal and lawful basis for you to abduct and incarcerate my brother Talib presently?
15 seconds recording time remaining.
Yes, the call is coming to an end, Mr. Browell, but I've just asked the same question all the time. What is the legal and lawful basis of you abducting and incarcerating my brother Talib presently? And you refuse to answer that question because there is no legal basis, is there? This is all fraud, deception, and corruption on your part. Release my brother before he ends up dying in your custody, because you're going to kill him off anyway.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. To review message, message sent. Thank you for calling. Bye.
So every day I'm forced to leave a message, and every day they just refuse to answer. It's been 680 days now, 680 days on unlawful incarceration and detention. This is simply unprecedented, unacceptable, and they're getting away with it because all the judges and the judiciary and the people in authority and power, the ministers, the justices, are all prostituting out their services to keep the veneer of respectability of the local authority, Bradford Council, as the city of culture. It's all a lie and a deception, and this is all the rhetorics that they try to fool people through propagandizing everything, when the reality is that they're just nothing but dirty little criminals that abuse and exploit and torture the weak and vulnerable in society, take candy away from a baby, take money away from disabled people so that they can torture and murder them and exploit them as financial commodities. They're financially commoditizing my brother to maximize profit and gain for them and their associates, and it's deplorable, disgusting, and reprehensible completely.